everybody. With this Railsplitter Athletics Report, we are now officially into the month of October. Hard to believe that for volleyball and soccer, we're on the countdown now to the regular season titles and South Atlantic Conference Tournament. Less than a month away for the soccer team. The volleyball team, I believe, will play up into the first week of November. So it's really a countdown now, and a lot of jostling for position going on. Big match this coming weekend between the Lincoln Memorial University men's soccer team and the Bulldogs from Wingate University. Two of the only unbeatens in the South Atlantic Conference, and they're going to battle. Somebody's going to leave here with a blemish, whether it's a tie or a loss or a victory. The victory obviously not a blemish, but somebody's going to leave with one of those others on their record before the weekend's end. So big match coming up there. We've got a lot to tell you about this week. Our guest tonight is Benny Collins of the LMU tennis programs, and we'll tell you how Mother Nature is affecting that part of the LMU athletics department when we return on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Subway of Harrigan and Middlesboro has your fresh interest at heart. On your way to work, try one of our mouth-watering breakfast sandwiches or flatbread omelets. If it's lunch or dinner you're after, choose from a wide selection of classic, select, or premium sandwiches that are all made specifically to order. Serving a crowd, Subway also has sandwich platters, giant subs, box lunches, and even cookie platters. Be it dine in or carry out, you can eat healthy and eat fresh at Subway. 368 Catawba Avenue in Harrigan and on the corner of the Village Square Mall, Middlesboro. You love your car or truck? Let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the first of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro. Whether institutional case good or architectural woodwork, Nolan Products Incorporated of Knoxville has been serving East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Southeast Kentucky since 1958. From concept to finish, Nolan Products custom builds to the highest quality standards to meet your facility specifications while using only the finest materials available. Nolan Products has been serving and meeting the needs and requirements of general contractors and architects in East Tennessee and surrounding area for more than 55 years. Nolan Products Incorporated, 912 Forsyth Street Northeast, Knoxville.
All right, let's get with it. Last week got started on a positive note for Lincoln Memorial University Athletics when the LMU volleyball team returned to the Mary E. Mars Gymnasium after enduring a 3-match road swing that saw them fall to Queens, Catawba, and Carson-Newman. Friday evening's home match against the Cobras of Coker College was just what the doctor ordered for Jenny Michael and her club as the Lady Railsplitters came out and rolled to a 25-18 win in the opening set. Despite the home court advantage, however, LMU's second battle with the Cobras proved to be more difficult and ended with Lincoln Memorial falling to Coker 26-24 before they could get back on track to capture a decisive 24-14 and 25-17 wins in the final 2 frames to snap that 4-match losing streak and to move to 4-5 on the year while pushing their league record to 2-4. After the match, Michael was pleased with her team's performance.
Absolutely. One of the keys for us is, and our girls know this, it's not disrespectful at all, but we don't have an all-star. In any given night, we have people that can step up, and one of our keys is being consistent, having more than one option offensively. And tonight, to see that, we had 3 girls in double digits and a couple that were knocking on the door. That kind of being the ability to spread the offense across all 3 positions on the net at any given time, that's what's going to make us dangerous. Looking at our offense, one of our big things that we were talking about really this whole season, but we've really been paying attention to it, especially since Tuesday night at Carson-Newman, was just offensive efficiency. And with the exception of that second set, which we lost because we were dumb and made a lot of errors. I mean, the second set, we had as many hitting errors as the other team did in the first 2 sets combined. That's not efficient. That's not being successful. That's not going to get us to where we want to be. But looking down and seeing that other than that second set, we're hitting 200 or above, I don't think we've done that all year. If we have, it's been when we've been successful. And when we don't hit above that mark, then it just...
Saturday, Lincoln Memorial played host to national powerhouse Wingate University, who entered the Mars Gym with only 1 loss at 5-1 in league play and boasting a 10-2 overall record. In Saturday's opening set, the Lady Railsplitters came out as hot as they have played all year long, putting the Bulldogs on the defensive and eventually handing them a blistering 25-15 loss to take a 1-0 lead in the match. In set 2, however, it was Wingate who went on the attack, while the Lady Railsplitters fell back on their heels quickly and eventually suffered a 25-18 defeat to even the match at 1 set apiece. The Bulldogs' victory in this second set seemed to switch the momentum in Wingate's favor, as LMU stayed on the defensive in the final 2 stanzas, while the Bulldogs picked up 25-22 and 25-19 wins to capture the road victory following Saturday's match. And we spoke with Jenny Michael about that match and got her thoughts on the loss.
We've battled inconsistencies and definitely offensive errors. You know, just even looking, you know, specifically, you know, last night Kiera, I think, was the player of the game that you guys selected, and she's, you know, hitting negative and double-digit errors. You know, it's that inconsistency from one night to the next that it's a struggle for us on the coaching side to figure out exactly who's going to be in there and who's going to show up and play, let alone for the players out there, you know, being next to one another as far as who's bringing their A game or who's off. I mean, you know, it's very natural for athletes to have an off night here or there. You know, it's, you know, a conglomeration of different reasons may contribute to that. But right now, the only thing that we're being consistent at is being inconsistent, and that's definitely very frustrating.
The Lady Railsplitters have had since last Sunday to prepare for this weekend's home bounce with Anderson University Friday evening at 7 o'clock and then Newberry College Saturday at 2 p.m. The LMU women will close out the 5-match homestand Tuesday evening when they play host to the Lions of Mars Hill College in the Mary E. Mars Gymnasium at 7 o'clock. That will be Dig Pink Night in observance of the fight against cancer. And turning to cross country, Saturday morning, the Lincoln Memorial University men's and women's cross country teams returned to action when they traveled to Wingate, North Carolina to participate in the Bulldog Stampede hosted by Wingate University. The Lady Railsplitters were coming off of a 6th place finish in their last race at the Furman Classic, while the Railsplitters entered Saturday's meet following an 8th place showing at that event as well. LMU junior Whitney Elliott notched her 2nd runner-up performance of the 2015 season to lead the Lady Railsplitters to an 11th place finish in the 6K race, which featured 20 teams with 159 individual participants and was held at the Wingate Cross Country facility, site of this year's NCAA Division II Southeast Regional meet. This weekend's race featured most of the region's elite runners, and Elliott navigated that 6K course in a time of 22:51.23 to take 2nd, finishing less than 1 second behind Anderson's Haley Love, who won the event in a time of 22:50.45. Young Harris runner Nancy Mergor was the only other runner in the field to complete the race in less than 23 minutes. This weekend's event marked the 3rd consecutive top 5 finish for Elliott and her 2nd runner-up finish in 3 appearances this season. The Lady Railsplitters finished 11th among the teams participating in with 282 points and an average 6K time of 25:15.58. LMU ranked 5th out of the 7 South Atlantic Conference teams in attendance as Wingate won the meet with 74 points. Anderson was a distant 2nd with 94, and Queens took 3rd with 99. 19 of the 20 teams in the Bulldog Stampede will be returning to the Southeast Region race on November 7th. And the Railsplitters put 3 runners in the top 30 to take 6th place at the Bulldog Stampede on Saturday morning. The 8K Bulldog Stampede for the men was featuring 19 teams and 178 individual runners and was also hosted at the Wingate Cross Country facility, site of the 2015 NCAA Southeast Regional. Lincoln Memorial placed 6th overall and 3rd out of the 6 South Atlantic Conference teams in the field with 191 total points behind 3 top 10 finishers. Mount Olive won the event with 50 points, while Queens took a distant 2nd with 92. Despite putting up 2 runners in the top 5, including winner Alex Griggs, Mars Hill took 3rd place with 96 points. That's a rarity. LMU's Blaine Benitez led the Railsplitters with 23 points. in 23rd place with a time of 27:06:39, while Brandon Vaughn was in 26th place with a time of 27:10:65. Jorge Hernandez also placed inside the top 30 in 28th place overall for the 8K event with a time of 27:25:56. Earlier this week at the Lady Railsplitter soccer match with Hiwassee, we talked with head coach Jeremy Donahue and got his thoughts on the weekend's results.
Well, it was a good look for us this week at the region course as well as some region competition. And if we looked at the men first, I think that performance was probably one of the best performances we've had as a whole with the team in the last several years. They went out, did what they've been doing all season. The top four really grouped together well. The race set up well for us. They didn't have to get out aggressively, could run their own race, and had good position early. So they just stayed steady throughout and ended up with a top 6 performance, beating all but a couple conference schools. So they're really looking good at this part of the season. And for our women, we just had a reverse of the Furman Classic a couple weeks earlier. Unfortunately, a couple teams got us that we had got previous weeks, so we just got to be on top of our game every race out because we just don't have the depth this year with a couple unfortunate injuries. So we got to pack up that 2 through 5, definitely every race out to be successful.
Donahue's teams have this weekend off and will be using the downtime to prepare for the upcoming Gene Mullen Invitational, which will be held in Greenville, South Carolina at 9 a.m. next week. The event will be both teams' last of the regular season and a good prep before the rapidly approaching South Atlantic Conference Championships. That'll be held this year at Wasiota Winds Golf Course in Pineville, Kentucky. And moving over to women's soccer, over the weekend, Heliodana and the Lincoln Memorial University soccer teams traveled to Hickory, North Carolina to take on the Bears of Lenoir-Rhyne University. Now, both teams were coming off of ties in their previous outings against Tusculum College last Wednesday over in Greenville, Tennessee. In the opening match, the Lincoln Memorial women got behind the 8-ball early as the Bears' Emmy Dunn caught fire and found the back of the net twice in the 2nd and 5th minutes of play to give LR a 2-0 advantage with virtually the entire first half to go. With the Lady Railsplitters now trailing 2-0, it would have been easy for LMU to panic. That wasn't the case, however, as senior Josephine Hedstrom scored unassisted with a shot off the crossbar that pulled the Lady Railsplitters to within a goal only 1 minute 10 seconds after the Bears' second goal at 6:07. The offensive strike would be both teams' last of the first half as LR and Lincoln Memorial tightened their defensive efforts and played through a defensive struggle throughout the remainder of the period. As the second half got underway, it took Lenoir-Rhyne less than 20 minutes to add their lead when Leah Mullins took the ball down the right side and put a shot in frame at 64-21 to give the Bears what would eventually be their final 3-1 margin of victory. The loss dropped LMU to 2-2-3 overall and 1-1-2 in the South Atlantic Conference. On Wednesday, the LMU women hosted in-state winless opponent Hiwassee College. The Tigers entered this week's non-conference match with the Lady Railsplitters at 0-6 on the year and in search of their first win in program history. Not only did Mother Nature not accommodate Hiwassee's women with favorable weather conditions, in addition, the Lincoln Memorial women's soccer team was looking to snap a 3-match winless streak, and as fate would have it, they essentially accomplished that, hopping on one foot and with one tied behind their back. Heliodana played the entire roster in Wednesday's record-setting performance that saw the Lady Railsplitters break the mark for goals scored in a single match that has stood since the 2007 season when then head coach Jeff Winterberger's Lady Railsplitters defeated Campbellsville 17-0. Coach Dana's Lady Railsplitters took a 10-0 lead by the intermission and eventually captured an 18-0 win to set a new LMU single-match scoring record, outshooting the Tigers a whopping 49-0, including an unbelievable 26 shots on goal. After the match, we spoke briefly with Dana about his team's win over the first-year Tiger program.
Yeah, I had an opportunity to start a program from scratch before. It's difficult, you know. I mean, got to eat a little bit of a humble pie, and we had to do that back in my days at Union. Our lacrosse team had to do it last year here, but at the end of the day, it was a good day to put more people to play.
LMU women will again be in action this Saturday when they play host to the Bulldogs of Wingate University at the LMU Soccer Complex. That's a 1 o'clock start. The Lincoln Memorial University men's soccer team remained unbeaten over the weekend when they picked up a 3-2 win over the Bears of Lenoir-Rhyne University in Hickory. LR actually scored the first goal of the match when Ismail Nalmanansa scored on a cross from the right side from teammate Chris Pytharis. That gave the Bears the 1-0 lead in the 29th minute. A few minutes later and shortly before the end of the first half, LMU senior Pedro Villa scored his second goal of the season when he hit the net at the 42-29 mark to even the score at 1-1. Shortly after the opening touch of the second half, Railsplitter forward Leonardo da Silva hit the bottom left corner of the frame at 54-38 to give Lincoln Memorial its first lead. A little more than 10 minutes later, Villa again struck nylon when he streaked down the left side and outran the defender before taking teammate Enrique Rezic's pass to score his second goal of the match, which gave the Railsplitters a 3-1 lead by the 65th minute. LR would later put a goal in the 83rd minute when Rafael de Porto caught a loose ball in the box and placed a shot on frame. But with time working in the Railsplitters' favor, the LMU men preserved the 3-2 lead through regulation to capture their 6th win of the season and to improve to 6-0-1 overall, 3-0-1 in league play. While Mother Nature handed the women's soccer match rain Wednesday, she showed mercy on the 1-8-1 Hiwassee men when she dialed up some thunder and lightning to go along with the wet weather conditions for the unbeaten Railsplitters match with the Tigers. Prior to the match and as the starting lineups were being introduced, lightning strikes throughout the area prompted game officials to delay the start of that match, which eventually was called due to the weather and due to the potential for darkness before the two teams could get 70 minutes of play in to really make it an official match. Wednesday afternoon, the Railsplitters will have been idle since Saturday's road win over Lenoir-Rhyne when they take the field to host SAC rival Wingate University at 3:30. This week's battle with the Bulldogs will not only feature the league's only 2 unbeaten teams, with Wingate at the top of the latest standings, boasting a 4-0 conference record, while the Railsplitter men are 3-0-1, and that is after the tying the Pioneers of Tusculum more than a week ago. It'll also be LMU's first ever Bark in the Park, which fans and area dog lovers are encouraged to bring their canine family members to the LMU Soccer Complex for a day of soccer, fun, and prizes. Saturday will also be Faculty Staff Appreciation Day at the venue, so be sure to come out and show your support for the LMU soccer teams as the matches start at 1 and 3:30, so you don't miss out on the fun, excitement, and prizes. I have no idea what those are. All right, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we've got Benny Collins in studio of the LMU tennis programs coming up right after this.
Established in 1982, Dixie Roofing Incorporated of La Follette has been the industry's leader in commercial roofing throughout Knoxville, Tennessee, and surrounding counties for more than 30 years. From medical facilities to office buildings and educational institutions, Dixie Roofing has the experience, expertise, equipment, and know-how to handle roofing needs of any commercial structure, big or small. Dixie Roofing is also on the web at www.dixieroofing.com. Dixie Roofing Incorporated.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing. I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Benny Collins, head coach of the LMU tennis program, in studio with us. And, Coach, I know that the fall season has been kind of hit or miss. We've had some things going on here on campus, the LMU Speed Tournament in particular. We'll talk about that in a minute. I know that this weekend you were slated to go to the Carolinas for the ITA regionals, but unfortunately, Mother Nature stepped in and said, nope, we're not doing it this weekend.
Mother Nature won't leave me alone. We had all the snow last year, and this weekend we're supposed to go to the ITA, and hurricanes coming in on the East Coast, so they had to cancel the tournament, and they're going to move the tournament to the following weekend.
Yeah, we'll call it Hurricane Benny for practical purposes right now. But let's go back a week or so. You had the LMU Speed Tournament, and you had several teams here on campus. And this is a little different format than you would play in collegiate play. But nonetheless, it was an opportunity for your teams to compete against some outside competition and individuals to play outside competition, and they looked pretty good.
They looked really good. You know, we had Tusculum come in, we had Carson Newman, the University of the Cumberlands, and the speed tournament is set up to whether you play an 8-game pro set or you play 45 minutes, doubles and singles. And what that does, that gets you the availability to play 3 different players in singles, 3 different sets in doubles, and you get a lot of different looks, and you get to meet several opponents. You know, they get tired of playing each other every day in practice, and they always look forward to this, and the other teams look forward to it. And we did quite well. I thought we held our own. We looked really good.
Now you had University of Cumberland's, Tusculum, Carson Newman,
right,
and Lincoln Memorial.
Right, 4 teams.
So are there winners declared in this by team, or is it just an individual situation? How does that work?
You don't win. You can't win anything. I mean, you can win yourself, but we don't keep the score down. We don't write it officially down. So no team wins, and I mean, it's just for you to play. So you may not even get finished. You know, you may be at 5-4, and when we call the 45-minute time limit, you're done. No matter what the score is, you have to walk off the court. So,
yeah, and that's pretty much essential, right, because you got 4 teams playing. You got a lot of individuals playing in this particular event. And that said, I mean, this is an all-day occurrence.
It's an all-day. We start at 9 a.m. and we're usually done by 4:35, 6 o'clock. You know, just according to how quick it's run. You know, and how smooth we transfer from the old courts back to the new courts, back and forth, back and forth. How quick we get there, how quick they eat, how much recovery time they have before their matches. You know, that moves it right along. So, you know, but it's a great tournament. The kids like it, the other teams like coming here, and it works out great. You know, we've got 13 courts, the 6 old courts, the 7 new ones, and you know, next year if they don't tear the old courts out, we'll have the 7 new ones, the 6 old ones, and the new indoor complex. So.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in just a few moments. But when you're talking about this speed tournament, Coach, I mean, I can see how the individuals would benefit from it because they're playing a lot of different competition. Right. From a team standpoint, I guess it gives you that jamboree type feeling out there and so forth, but it's a huge event to undertake.
It's a huge event, and what I like about it is we can switch our doubles teams around because we don't know who's going to play with who pretty much with the new players coming in. So you get to change partners and see who meshes good with who, and they you know, not just playing each other's teammates, you're playing outside competition. And, you know, you can see if Johnny and Bobby matches up good with each other, or whoever plays well together. So,
now, could you have hosted an event of this magnitude before the new LMU tennis facility was in place?
No, we only had 6 old courts, so it's hard to have that many teams come and play and get it all played. It would be hard to do with just 6 courts.
All right, so now you've got 6 on the old, you've got 7 on the new, but now let's throw a different scenario in there. We've got the LMU indoor tennis facility, which is in the progress of being built. And I know that this is going to add a whole new dimension to Lincoln Memorial University tennis.
This is going to change everything for us. You know, we missed so much practice last year, missed so many matches, had to cancel so many matches, and that's a picture that you're looking at of the first beam set. I went down and watched them set that first beam, and you know, we're never going to miss practice once this facility's done. We're never going to miss a home match if the other team agrees to play indoors. NCAA rules say you have to play it outside unless both teams agree to play indoors. And, you know, if I was going to Charlotte, North Carolina to play somebody and it was going to rain and they had an indoor facility, I'm going to go play because you've got to get these matches played. If you don't play them, you just run out of time during your season trying to get this done.
Well, not only that, I mean, if you travel, let's say that you go to Coker.
Oh, yeah.
And you're 7 hours, 6.5 hours from Harrogate, you go all the way over there, rain moves in. Now you're looking at having to leave there. If you've got an indoor facility, you can still salvage a match out of that trip and not waste the travel money.
You know, a lot of the teams that I've scheduled this year, I told them don't worry about the date. You know, coming here, I said, well, we'll have an indoor facility. We'll be able to play the match no matter what the weather. And what this will do this coming winter is, you know, as soon as we're available to play in accordance to the NCAA rules, you know, I may have like several teams come and play over the weekend, you know, on a weekend when we can first start and get some things going like that. There's going to be a lot that can be done with that.
Coach, I know that you weren't able to play the ITA regionals this weekend. They've been rescheduled for next, but they're only going to play the A flight, as you've told me
Correct.
earlier.
Right.
And then, of course, you've got an event at the University of the Cumberlands. So the rest of the team probably go there. We want to wish you the best of luck in those 2 events.
Sure do. Thank you.
All right. Benny Collins and his tennis teams, they're working out every day. Come check them out every day that Mother Nature allows right now. So come check them out at the LMU Tennis Complex. We'll take this break and we'll be right back.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Join the Vive Broadband TV revolution. Vive gives you the freedom to choose with loads of new channels like Up TV, The Hub, The Blaze, and Cubo. Vive's Watch TV Everywhere feature gives you the freedom to watch participating channels just about anywhere, anytime, on any device. And Vive Broadband Speed gives you the freedom to power internet TV services like Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV, and Google Chromecast. Join the TV revolution at vivebroadband.com.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
Welcome back. Don't forget Anderson University, the opponent for the LMU volleyball team. Friday night, that's a 7 o'clock start, Mars Gym. Newberry on Saturday, 2 o'clock start. It's also going to be an opportunity for you to come out and support these Lady Railsplitter volleyball team members as they are really in the thick of the fight right now. Still about half the season to go, but it's getting down to crunch time and they're going to need your support. Best of luck to Coach Collins in his endeavors in the not this weekend, but next in the ITA Regionals or at the University of the Cumberland's Invitational. 5 players have already qualified for those ITA Regionals down in Sumter, South Carolina, and so the rest of the team will head over to the University of the Cumberlands. Okay, we want to mention as well that Tuesday night will be Dig Pink in the Mars Gym for the Lincoln Memorial University volleyball team. They'll be in action against Mars Hill. They're going to have a cookout that night. It's in observance of cancer awareness, so they're trying to raise awareness for that fight and also raise funds to help the fight. So come support the Lady Railsplitters and come support that cause. And don't forget this weekend, it's the Bark in the Park. That's at the LMU Soccer Complex, and of course you're asked to bring your dog along. I don't know, I'm not much on the landmines that they sometimes leave, but it's going to be a fun day. There's going to be a lot of prizes, a lot of games and so forth, and we certainly hope that you will come out and support the LMU soccer teams when they play Wingate University this weekend. That's all the time we got for this week. Until next week, good night, everybody.